Hello, you are watching the Cloud Factory. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to start with this series of videos about different types of sleeves. This is the first one, I hope you like it. Today we are going to learn how to make an origami sleeve, a tulip sleeve, also called a petal sleeve, and I will show you how to make 3 different types of puff sleeves, as you can see here in the picture. So as you can see, we have a lot of work, so let's start. You need a simple sleeve pattern. In this case I have a short one. It's only 2 inch long from the armpit. And first of all, for all our sleeves we will do the same process to construct a full sleeve pattern. Take another piece of paper and transfer the shape of your pattern, which it will be obviously the back part of the pattern because this curve, the external curve, is for the back part. Then in your pattern we are going to cut this curve to keep the front part of my pattern. Extend the baseline of the sleeve and matching the center point and the baseline, put your pattern in this way and trace now the front part of your sleeve in this way. Cut your pattern and you are going to repeat the same process for every sleeve I will teach you in this video. Now let's see how to make every sleeve. We are going to start with this one, which is called Tulip sleeve or Petal sleeve. For this one you need 2 patterns of your sleeve. Here I have my front part of the pattern and I will mark it as with an F. And I will mark the center points and trace this line, which is obviously the center line, and I will do the same in my other pattern. Now from the center line in one of your patterns, to my right in this case, I will mark 4.5 inch in my curve, here. But in this point I want to explain you something so you will have more options for your petal sleeve. If you mark less than 4 inch, the overlapping point of the 2 pieces of the sleeve, it will be in the center line of the arm, as you can see in the first figure here on the left. And if you mark more than 4 inch, the overlapping point of the 2 pieces, it will be on one side. Depending on which piece you put on the top, the overlapping point can be in the right or in the left. So once you wear the sleeve, you can show this overlapping in the front or in the back of your sleeve. Okay, now here in the base in the opposite side I will mark 3 inch and I will join these 2 points with a curve. Use a marker and do the same in the other sleeve pattern, but in the opposite side. Now I am marking the 4.5 inch in the back part and the 3 inch in the opposite, and I will join these points, but for that I will put my sleeve patterns together and I can see the other line here. I will use that as a reference to trace my curve, so I will have exactly the same curve in my both pieces. This is so important. If you don't do it like this, then your sleeve will look different in every piece and it will not overlap properly. Here I have my 2 lines. Now I will cut by these curves. These pieces, remove it and keep these 2 pieces. When you overlap it matching the center lines, there you have your petal sleeve ready to sew. Now let's see how to stitch it. I will cut both pieces in a single layer of fabric, considering 1 centimeter for stitches all around. Before to remove the patterns, I will mark the center point in the top part of my both pieces. Then remove the patterns. And here I have my center points. This is the back part, and this is the front part. As you can see, because of the curves here, is different. Now, this is the center point of this piece. I will match it with the other one, overlapping in this way. And first we are going to attach bias binding here, or any border you like. I am using a simple ribbon, and remember, here we have space for stitches, that's why I'm leaving this space, and I will cut the excess of fabric. Now I will fold it to the right side of my fabric, and I will give a stitch in the border like this. Do the same with your both pieces, and there you have it. This is my front piece, and this is my back piece. Match the center points to overlap it. This is my back piece, and I will put it on the top because I want the overlapped piece in the front of my arm. Pin it together by the center and all around if you need it, not all around, only in the top part, and attach it in the normal way we attach a sleeve. First the front part and then the back part. Here I am attaching the front part from the center, and then also from the center the back part. And you will have something like this. Now we are going to close the side of my sleeve. From the sleeve to the waistline. And there you have your petal sleeve or tulip sleeve ready. It looks like this. Now let's see how to make an origami sleeve. For this one I need one full sleeve pattern. I extend the length to 6 inches. You can do it as long as you want. Mark the center line. Also mark the base of the cap line. Now take the measurement of the baseline of your sleeve and divide it by 3 and mark the points. We are going to use this side, this third part. Here in this line I will mark 2 inches. This is the back part of my sleeve, and I will join these 2 points, reaching the curve in this way. Here I will mark 2 inches also in the opposite side. This is the front part of my sleeve, and I will join this with the crossing point of these 2 lines. Now in this line I just draw, I will mark 2 inches also here from this line. Taking those 2 points as a reference, I will mark this line, also reaching the curve. Now in this line I just draw now, I will repeat the same process, mark 2 inches, also 2 inches over here, and trace this line. And again in this line 2 inches, 2 inches over here, and trace this one. And in this one also mark 2 inches, also 2 inches here, and trace this line. Your pattern must look like this. If you want, pause the video and check if everything is fine. Now I will cut the lines in the same order I made it. First this one, which is the first line I traced, and I will stop 2 millimeters before the end. Then the next line I traced, and following this order I will cut all the lines. You will have something like this. Being so careful, put your pattern on another piece of paper, big enough. Mark the center point of this triangle piece, which is the center of my sleeve, and glue it to the paper. Considering the center points you marked before. Now open the other pieces. I am opening about 1.5 inches, approximately the same distance between every piece, and glue it in this place, every piece. You will have this. Now we are going to mark the center points of the space we open in this way. Mark center points and then use those points as a reference to trace these lines. We are going to trace the same contour of our pieces, but about 1 inch out of every piece. In this way I am making my lines. Continue doing the same with every piece. In this part, only join this center point with this line. And then continue in the same way. You must have something like this. Pause the video if you need to check if everything is right. And then cut it. And you must get this pattern. Now in a single piece of fabric, pin it and cut. And I want to show you here in the top and in the sides I consider 1 centimeter for stitches, but in the bottom part of every piece I didn't consider, I cut by the lines. Now we are going to make the folds, but I will show you first how to make it in the paper so you will understand in a better way, I think. Fold it like this, like a dart, putting together the lines we originally draw in this way. You will do the same with every piece, like this. We finish one side, then the other side. Start folding by the center. And as you can see here, the pieces are overlapping each other automatically. You only keep folding in this way. And this is my last piece. When you fold it and you put it on its place, you will have the full pattern of your sleeve again. Like this. Now, for the fabric, we have to transfer these lines to the fabric. So put the fabric over the pattern and mark the main points to transfer all the shape of your lines. Then trace all the lines. You have to trace this in the right side of your fabric, so you have to wash it after finish your garment. And start folding and pressing every piece in the same way I show you with the paper. Here I finish one side. Now I will work with the other side in the same way. Keep folding and pressing. Now pin everything to keep it on its place. And we're going to give an invisible stitch by hand on every fold. You can give invisible stitch all along the folds or only in the center joined points. depending on what you want. Once I finish, it looks like this. Remove the pins and stitch the sleeve as a regular sleeve. Once you finish, make a simple hem, or you can attach a border also. And close the sides. And your origami sleeve is ready. It looks like this. And now let's see how to make the puff sleeve number 1, which is puffed in the top part. Take one of your patterns and mark the baseline of the cap. Here we are going to mark 3 inch in one side and also 3 inch in the other side. And I will trace these vertical lines. Now the space I have in between those lines, I will take the measurement in centimeters and I will divide it by 6 and mark the points. We need 8 pieces in total. Trace vertical lines in every point. And there you have it. Cut the lines starting from the top part of your sleeve and finish 2 millimeters before the baseline. Take another piece of paper and mark the center point, the center line of your paper. Put your pattern like this. I have 4 pieces on each side. That means this is the center point. Here I will mark 1 inch. And in the other side of the line also 1 inch. And I will glue every piece, taking those points as a reference. Now the other side. Now from these pieces I will mark again 1 inch. And I will glue the next piece in that point. Do the same with all the pieces. Spread it by 1 inch. Then you will have this. Trace a line in these 2 points, and from here we are going up by 2 inch. You can go more. The more you give, the more volume your sleeve will have. Also mark 2 inch here. And here I have my front piece and here I have my back piece of the sleeve. I will trace this curve starting from the corner of those pieces, the first piece in every side. And the main thing is you want to get a curve like this. Cut your pattern, and there you have it. Cut it in a single piece of fabric. And here I have a strip of fabric with adhesive interface attached to it. This is for the border of my sleeve. Mark the center point here in the top part. And also in the bottom part, mark the center point. Now I will show you the easiest way in this world to attach a puff sleeve. Pin the center of your sleeve with the shoulder seam. And now pin this corner of your sleeve with the armpit point of your bodice. And the same in the other side, this corner with this one. Now thread a needle and we are going to give a simple stitch from the first pin and finish in the center pin. We have to match the lengths of the both pieces, the sleeve and the armhole, so just distribute the fabric in this way. Keep the creases near to the shoulder point in the top part of your sleeve and start pinning everything together, the two pieces together, until you have something like this. And do the same in the other side. Give a simple stitch in the sleeve starting from the center and finishing in the last pin. Pin everything together and then you will have this. Now give a stitch here. Remove the pins. And now we are going to attach the border of our sleeve. In the wrong side of your fabric, match it with the right side of your border and give a stitch in this way. Now turn it to the right side of your fabric, fold the border by the middle, keep the seams inside, make another fold here, and give a stitch in this border. Now close the side and your puff sleeve number 1 is ready. Now let's see how to make the next one, the puff sleeve number 2. This one, it has the creases in the bottom part. Divide your pattern in 8 pieces as I showed you before. This time we are going to gather here in the baseline. So starting from the baseline, cut all the lines in this way. And we are going to do the same, but this time in the baseline. Mark 1 inch on every side of your center line in your paper and start gluing your pieces, taking those points as a reference. Spread always 1 inch in between pieces, trace this line, and here I will mark 3 inch. Here I have the front and here I have the back of my sleeve. I will trace a curve from this point to this point, like this. Cut your pattern and don't get confused because of the shape of this sleeve. This is the front part, this is the back part, this is the bottom part, and this is the top part. It looks like reversed sleeve, if you can say. Remove the pins, but first mark the center point in the top part. Now remove the pattern, and this is the easiest sleeve to attach in the whole world, I promise. You have to attach it starting from the center line to the front, then from the center line to the back, and there you have it. Now we are going to give a simple stitch in the bottom part. Mark the contour of your arm in the border for your sleeve and cut. Consider space for stitches and match these two corners, this with this and this one with this. Pin it. Now distribute the creases of your sleeve and pin everything together. Now give a stitch here. And close your border in the same way we made it for the sleeve number 1, and also close the sides. As you can see here, I don't have any crease here, everything is in the bottom part. This kind of sleeve looks so romantic. Now let's see how to make the star of this video, the double puff sleeve. Start again with the same 8 pieces pattern we make for our other puff sleeves. Trace a line in your piece of paper. Separate all the pieces now like panels in this way and number it. We have 8, I will keep 4 in every side of my paper. I will trace a center line. I will mark 1 inch from the center line to the right and 1 inch to the left. And in the line I marked before, I will set my pieces and glue it. Do the same in the other side with the piece number 4. Then from this piece to the right, mark 1 inch, and from this piece to the left, 1 inch. And in that place, glue your next piece and do the same with all the pieces of your sleeve. This sleeve is a combination of the sleeve number 1 and number 2. So here, mark 3 inch and 3 inch in the bottom part also. We are going to trace curves from here to this point in the same way we made the puff sleeve number 1. And in the bottom part also in the same way we made the puff sleeve number 2. You will have something like this. Now cut your pattern. This is the front part, this is the back part, this is the bottom, and this is the top part. Cut your sleeve in a single piece of fabric. This is the bottom and this is the top. And we are going to work exactly as we work with the 2 previous sleeves. Here I am working with the top part of my sleeve in the same way, exactly the same way we made the puff sleeve number 1. I will stitch here. With the armhole, and you will have this, same like in the puff sleeve number 1. Now I am going to work with the bottom part of my sleeve exactly in the same way we made the puff sleeve number 2. Same process, cutting my border, pinning the border together with the sleeve, and stitching the border. Closing the sides, and there you have your sleeve ready. It looks like this. I just love it. I hope you like it the same like me. If you think this video is useful, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And please check the description box below this video, because there you have all the information about download the patterns for these sleeves and the links to my networks. You can contact me there. I would love to see your works. Happy stitches for everyone, and I will see you the next time.